What is going on, guys? It is your boy Big Tone, Too Smooth, Smooth Dude, Tig Bone. No matter what you call me, you know where to find me. Twitch.tv/TooSmooth Gaming LLC. And today I'm coming to you guys with a fully free-to-play account review / tips and tricks. My account, I've been pushing free-to-play for the last 20 days. I'm 20 days in now. And the game just hit release. I mean, it just hit is 1 month. So we're a month deep into the game. I've been playing for 20 days, so I missed out on the first 10 days, but I've been making very steady progression. And I kind of want to share with you guys how I've gotten to this point, how I see myself moving forward, and how I feel like I've taken advantage of the free-to-play and where I felt like I was lacking in the free-to-play. So what I give you guys amongst the good, the bad, the ugly, the in-between, what I wish I had done and what I have been doing. Hopefully I can give some people that like is just joining the game, or maybe you're stuck somewhere and you want to make progress, or maybe you're kind of getting discouraged. Hopefully I can show you guys some of the things that I've been doing to maybe push your account to the next level, or get you to push really hard without having to feel like you need to spend money on the game. So I have a list here that I'm gonna just run through. I don't know exactly how long the video is. I'm gonna try to keep it very short and brief because I want to give you guys one video that you can just click around, take some tips, and then take that with you and start to progress wherever you are in the game. So I want to start off by the starting units and rerolls. The starting units that I started with and rerolling completely. I started with Balder, Reyna, and Chloe, and I went to 1-5 for 5 different accounts, and I went to 30 for each of the accounts, and I flipped over 3 cards or 3 heroes or 3 Elunes on each roll. So by the end of the 5th one, I couldn't take anymore. So I basically I settled with my account. So I'm basically telling you guys that because I know being free to play, you kind of feel pressured to get a specific role, or a specific hero, or a specific Elune, a combo. People say you need to have at least 2 notable legendaries or a legendary in this. So I didn't feel like I had the best start. Of course, Balder got a buff, but at that point in time, he wasn't, top of the class. So I kind of lucked out by getting Balder, but I didn't start the strongest way possible, but it was pretty good. But I want to give you guys the heads up that you don't have to get the perfect role in order to progress in the game. But as a free-to-play player, it might be better for you to just keep pushing until you get the specific role you want, so that the early game and progression late game will be easier, but you still can get where you need without those Elunes. After I started progressing in the game, of course, you go into adventure, you try to clear out as much as you can inside the adventure. And I didn't focus on 3-starring my adventure initially. All I wanted to do was push further because you get more gold, you get more chances at resources, you get different types of jewels or gems, which you use on your skills for your Elunes. So if you progress further into the story, you get different types of gems, you get a little bit more gold, and you get a little bit more XP. Of course, it gets tougher, but you give yourself more room to get more EXP, get more gold, so you can find spots where you can take a break, farm, repeat one map until you feel strong enough to go to the next map. But adventure, I really focus on just trying to clear what I could. And with that, CoCo is probably one of the most important things to do initially. Shout out to my man's Gypsy. Go check out his stream. It's twitch.tv/gypsies. I will leave his link in the description below. But if you go check out his channel, he gives a lot of good information, and he was one of the people that led me to really progressing hard in this game. And one of his first tips was CoCo. CoCo. And I agree 100%. By the end of CoCo, it gives you a free 6-star legendary, and it gives you a free 10+1 pull. From my 6-star legendary, I happen to get LvL, which is amazing. And then I don't know what I got from my 10+1 pull, but the LvL by itself was worth it. No matter what 6-star Elune you get, that's really, really good for you, especially early on in your account where you don't have too many units, you don't have too many legendaries, you don't have too many opportunities to expand. So pushing places where they give you free rewards by just progressing, it's so important. So make sure you're taking care of your CoCo quest as soon as possible. Make sure you're sticking on it and doing as much as you can. And another thing is you'll be able to check these affinities as you're progressing in the story. You'll be earlier on in these progression, but the first one gives you 5k gold, and you get 5 rubies from the second one. And it doesn't sound like a lot, right? 5 rubies, but there's 5 characters on each map, right? So 5 characters on each map, and you have 7 maps. So that's a good amount of rubies that you can stack up, and that's just from level 2. So make sure if you're farming a specific map, or if you clear or pass a map, go ahead and click send gift, and make sure you click the one that they favor the most first until you have them fully leveled up or maxed out Infinity, and then you can spread them out to the others. But you just do that, and then it'll unlock the next tier if you have enough of the certain material, and then that will unlock free rewards. As a free-to-play player, free rewards is the target. Talking about free rewards, they just released this dimension protection, sorry. The day that they dropped this, within, I would say 2 days, I had this completely cleared out. And the reason why is, as a free-to-play player, it's free rewards. So I planned it out. There are certain things where it says like evolve an Elune, or clear a certain boss, or go to the abyss or do the tower. So if you are early into the game and you're starting to progress through adventure, make sure you look at these every once in a while and try to line them up together, because there were certain parts where you had to do the same boss in 2 of the missions. I mean, on 2 of the different maps. So it'll be like Proto 10 or Ime, and you can go and do Ime and you can knock out 2 of the tasks at once. So make sure you're keeping a look at this. It gives you seeds, rubies, skill books. I mean, whatever it gives you is free, right? So I took 100% advantage of this, and I got it all as fast as I could, just because free is free. Why not, right? So so next is the special event. So special event is released every once in a while. Last time it was Starship. Now it's Bata. It has a new champion in here, or a new Elune. But the thing about this is free. If you do these quests, you have to do 24 of them. This place is kind of tough. I've heard some people having difficulties with it. So it might take you a little while to progress to the point where you have to do these quests. But just have it in the back of your mind that these quests should be done. Because it's working towards your Wei Wei, which I'll talk about in just a second. And it'll work towards your Affinity, right? So it's just like the Affinity in the other maps. But with this one, you don't feed them items. You don't give them items. After you finish the quest, it'll give you that Affinity point, right? So as long as you're coming here and clearing this event, another free rewards. It gives you rubies, seeds, and seeds is probably one of the most valuable resources in this game. So if you can get free seeds, free golds, free rubies by doing 2 quests per day, as a free-to-play player, free is what we need, right? So see, and this is one thing I didn't know. If you clear one map, right? If you clear a single map in adventure, it unlocks hard mode. If you complete the whole map, you don't have to 100% 3-star it. As long as you complete every single round in this specific map, like Astoria, it'll unlock the hard mode. Once you unlock hard mode, that's when you'll see these quests pop up. See, in normal mode, they have no quests. But in hard mode, they do have quests. And these quests are what you need in order to unlock one of the best units in this game as a support. It's Wei Wei. And Wei Wei is a very big part of your progression early game. It'll shift your boss team. If you're doing PvP, it'll help you excel in that, just because it has a lot of different things in one unit. So you want to make sure you prioritize this, and you need 100 quests in order to get the first one. So you get 100 quests and you get basically a free legendary. Again, free to play, free is the target. So if you're doing your quests, you'll eventually get a free legendary, which you can then put in multiple different teams and help you excel in multiple different ways, right? And what I was saying about you only have to complete this map, because when I first started, I thought you had to complete all of normal mode before you switch to hard. So I kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and then I got to a point in the normal story mode where I couldn't progress, and I almost halted my progression for like a day or two, because I didn't know about the hard mode that you can switch right after you complete the map. So if you're at a point in the story, like say you clear the first one, the second one, and then the third one you're having difficulties with, go back to the first one, click that hard mode, and then start to clear out some of the hard modes. See how you feel with that. You might be able to balance out a little bit. You might be able to get a little bit more EXP, some gold, and that might excel you to that next spot that you need to go to. But right when you complete the normal mode, make sure that you are hitting these quests. If you hit these quests, you get free Wei Wei, free unit, free legendary, free stats. I mean, free, right? Free to play. With all of my bosses, it was kind of, I wouldn't say it was tough. I cleared all of the bosses on 10 difficulty. Let me check the title. It was the 23rd. The 20, so 8 days ago, and I'm 20 days in now. So it took me almost 2 weeks. Excuse me. It took me almost 2 weeks to complete all of the bosses, and there was days where I wasn't completing some of the bosses because I was prioritizing farming. Now, the reason why bosses are a very, very good source for free to play is because this. If you go into the index and you go to the bosses, you will get rewarded for each of the stages that you clear. So you get 10 for every stage, right? So if you clear 1, you get 10, 5, you get 50. If you clear 10, you get 100. All free. So I kind of halted my progression again because I could have been at 10 maybe a day or two before then, but I wasn't confident enough to like go in thinking like, you know, it'll take me too long, or, you know, I might as well just wait tomorrow. But whenever you get the chance, even if you're going just to try, if you go in, you'll get a better knowledge of the actual boss. You get a little bit more practice, so you'll feel a little better. When you get to that 10 point, it won't be as difficult because you're less trying to figure the boss out and you're more trying to figure out what gear works together or what units work together. So make sure you're just going into the bosses if you can, clearing the stages out, collect these rubies, and just make sure you're pushing as far in each boss that you can. And when you clear the bosses, you get gear, and gear will help you progress in the story mode too. So that's another thing, because if you hit those walls where, you know, your units are dying too fast, or, you know, they're not buffing fast enough, by you having a couple pieces of legendary gear, not even max level, not even, you know, not even enhanced all the way, but just having some base legendary items will change things dramatically, especially if you have it on somebody like your tank or your DPS. I want to show you guys my Zodiac, and I was able to fully max my Zodiac as so I hit level 60 I think 2 days ago. I hit 60 2 days ago, and I prioritized Zodiac. I prioritized it like 100%. And I know there's some people who say don't get everything on the skill tree because, you know, there's speed. You know, you got to be careful with speed because, you know, your Fahrenheit might provoke every one of your units if they're too fast. But I want free stats, right? And I'm not fully focused on PvP right now because as a free-to-play player, I don't feel like I can compete at where I'm at right now with the people I would push towards, right? So I could push for PvP, but right now I'm not at that spot. So I'd much rather use everything on every other content, right? There's World Boss, there's you know, the Tower, you have Rift. So all these different places that you can use the speed, I'm looking at that more than I'm looking at PvP. But when it does get to the point where I am pushing PvP, that's something that I'm gonna deal with. I know that some people say, oh, you know, if a Fahrenheit is slower, then you can provoke. There's, you know, but there's less gear, there's counters. So I want to use what I have as a resource to push to that point. You know, if I get to that point where I'm struggling, it's more about my units or what I'm doing wrong or how I can do it better. I don't want to put full blame on a Fahrenheit, so I am not scared at all to fully max my Zodiac. So as a fully Zodiac, like my account's fully Zodiac, you have all these free stats on every single one of your units, and it's 12 pages. 12 pages of free stats. So what I did was three levels before I hit the next Zodiac page, I always saved up all my money. I saved up all my money 3 levels before my Zodiac, just so, and it's kind of a stretch, right? That's kind of a lot to save up. You can't really do that much, but that's what I wanted. I wanted to prioritize free stats. And by prioritizing it, I felt like it did pay off for me a lot, because a lot of things seemed easier than it was, especially like with the bosses. By having that max Zodiac, you have more HP, more physical res, more defense. Your units are going faster, you know, so all of those things add up, and I feel like collectively now it's at a point where it's definitely being really effective in all content. Maybe except for PvP because of speed, right? But I'm not pushing PvP right now, so that's not the biggest priority. Okay, next up, as a free-to-play account, my number one thing is fusions. I love fusions in this game, and I am a complete 100 fusion head ass. I did summon a couple times, and I did hit 6k mileage at one point. I kind of wish I would have saved that, but at the same time, I got some units, so it's not the worst, right? I had to make the realization that pulling wasn't worth it, and at that point is when I really started to focus on, you know, just doing heavily free to play. Now, you can play the game as you will, because it's kind of boring doing nothing but fusions, because you're in adventure all the time, you're doing Wei Wei quests all the time. So summoning could give you that satisfaction of, like, you know, of grinding all the time. But at the same time, the value that you're putting in summons, you could put the same amount with rubies. I'll get to that in a second. With the fusions, I always aim for rare pity. Rare pity is my goal. So what I do every single day is I get as many rares as I can, and I always staff all of my teams with rares. So as I'm doing the quest, as I suggested, the adventure or the Wei Wei quest, like say you're doing regular adventure or hard mode and you feel like your team could comfortably like beat the stage, you can throw in a couple of fodder, fuse them, and a lot of people fuse their, I mean, they sell their rares, they scrap them. I've talked to a lot of people that they said, you know, rares is just too tedious, it's not really worth it, I just scrap them. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, as a free-to-play player, I feel like this is a system that you should definitely take advantage of. I haven't fused any uncommons, but I've thought about it. But I don't really think, I may try it in the future. But right now, rares is my main focus. So with this strategy, with going through adventure, doing Wei Wei quest, I average about 1 6-star epic a day. And that might sound crazy, but I play this game a lot, first of all. Second of all, I fully maximize my training. I'm always having things training, and I'm always doing, well, not always doing friendship summons, but when I get the chance, I'm doing friendship summons so I can get those rare 2 stars, rare 3 stars. And I always level them all up. And then once you hit the pity, you want to make sure you have 2 level 50 rares, so that when you fuse them together, they'll make a 6-star epic. And I'll show you exactly how that's done. I actually saved a couple units so that you guys can kind of see what I'm used to doing, right? So I have these 6-star rares, and I've fused them up to 6 stars. These aren't the best units, right? And the only reason that I'm fusing these 6-star epic is because it gives me 3 points, right? So that's the only reason that I'm doing that I fuse 6 stars, and I'm kind of running low on my like lower star rares. So I've been fusing so much that now I have like 17. I'll show you that in a bit. But let's do some fusions, and let's see a little bit of the fusion game, shall we? So we got a Legion Sling. Not the best, not somebody we was looking for at all, but it's another piece of fodder, and now we have 3 more points on our fusions, right? So now we have to fuse 2 more, and then it'll proc. So let's go ahead and throw these 20s in. That's 1, and then 1 more. All right, and now you throw in 2. You throw in 2 level 50s maxed out, and now you will get a 6-star epic. But one thing about free to play that's kind of difficult when it comes to this is maxing out Zodiac and fusing, because you use most of your gold for those 2 things, right? But as long as you're efficient, you focus, you can make it happen. Chloe, Let's go. Yo, shout out to YouTube. We here. Okay. Okay. So as you can tell, I hit off rares. I'm fusing. And I got a 6-star Chloe as a result from fusing rares. No epics. I didn't summon for epics and fuse the epics together and hope for a Chloe, right? This is me fusing rares, and I don't even really care too much of what epic I get on the other end because I'm going to keep pumping those 6-star epics out. So I'm either going to get an epic I already have, or I'm going to get an epic that I can maybe use sometime in the future, right? We have World Boss now. Alliance is about to come out, so there's different ways I can use different units, right? So we're going to do this last fusion, and then I want to show you guys. Oh, we got another Reaper Dana. Oh, that's good too. See, now okay, so I just fused 2 6-star. You just seen what happened. So now I want to show you guys my account and what I've gotten from mainly fusing. I can guarantee you 80% of my units that I have are from fusions. So first we're gonna look at the rares that we have, and I'm only going to look at the 6-star rares, just because, you know, 5 stars, 2, 3 stars is cool, but I want to show you guys how I pushed the fusions, right? So we have Corrupt Dana, which is really good against healers. Wei Wei. Reaper Dana, World Boss just hit, and I just fused this, right? So now we have a curse unit we can always keep, and both of these are 6 stars. And not saying, oh, 6 stars so they have more attack. I'm more worried about the health. They stay alive longer. So in World Boss, having 6-star rares, it makes those sides stay alive longer. You do more groggy, you know, so on and so forth. So I've seen these 2 units as one of the main physical units. We have Heavenly Yua. I've heard about her in certain situations. And we still have, like, this is another one, so I can +1 this guy. I have 2 Lottos. I have this guy. I've heard of him. You know, I might keep him, see what he might do. But I have 2 of him, so I could +1 him. I can +1 Chloe. I mean, Cookie. So, and this is just from fusing, right? And now we're gonna go to our epics. Let's see what we have as far as epics. Now the epics, I just pulled a Chloe just now, right? A 6-star Chloe. Actually, let's go ahead and, why not? Let's go ahead and hit this real quick. Boom. So now, okay, I gotta show you guys, because yesterday I actually from the two free tickets we got, I actually got a 5-star Chloe. So from all of my fusing, I got a +4 Chloe, and now I got a Chloe from a summoning ticket. So now I have a max Chloe. Free to play, 100%, just fusions, right? I have a +2 Eris, again from fusing, +1 Reyna, +1 Karsha. I have Owen, but I have 3 of him, 3 6-stars, so he could be +2, but I'm trying to make sure I'm 100% guaranteed going to use him, right? Because I could fuse those only other units, but at the same time, I was even thinking just feeding him and try to get every epic as far in Transcendency as possible. Because if I had a whole group of maxed out epics, that could be very good in a lot of different situations. And I have Lesker. I have 2 of Lesker. I have B and J, Hong, Ewan. I have Charlotte, and I have another Charlotte right here. I could +1 her, but at the same time, I got a Popo and PP 2 days before World Boss. I got this guy, not the best, but I'm holding on to him. Lisa Rose is a farmer. I already have like Balder, and I already have my farming team set up, so I don't really use her. I pulled Miho, which is really good, and I have another one of her, so she could be +1. I got an Inmei, not the best. And then recently, I just fused a Gunsari, Cyrus, Katna, Mana. So this just goes to show, right? I haven't paid a single dime on the game, and I've done nothing but fuse. But my units, I feel, you know, maybe a lot of people probably have a lot more stacked units, but I really feel I'm at a comfortable point moving forward to be able to like hit different content. And another thing with fusions is the light summons. It's disabled right now, but you can get epics and rares from the light summons. So I suggest everyone, especially free to play, make sure that you're scrapping your rares, not your rares. Sorry, don't scrap your rares. I didn't say that. I meant make sure you're scrapping your uncommons and commons and then next, ruby spending. One of the major things when it comes to free to play. Where do I spend it on? How do I spend it? So on and so forth. So I'm not going to say I know the most efficient way to use your rubies, but I want to give you guys an idea of how I spent my rubies, to progress where I am, right? The main thing I wanted to get done was bag space. They just expanded bag space. The most recent update, not really update, quick fix, whatever you want to call it. But now you can have 500 slots. It used to be what, 350? I'm not even sure exactly what it was, but it was kind of a crunch. But as a free-to-play player, I know it might be tough to be like, bruh, but that's extra, that's luxury. You don't really need the extra space. And that's true. You can hold off. And not have to worry about the extra space. But the more time you spend to and from, in between grinding, you're stopping, you're scrapping all the time, it's slowly but surely chipping away at your efficiency. Because if your gear bag is always full, if your hero pool is always full, then you're always scrapping, you're always spending time out, and then you might get distracted, right? You're gonna go to scrap your units, and then you're gonna go check something, and then you're gonna do another thing. So to try to keep everything, lined up, I try to expand so that I can use as much time using buffs in maps, taking advantage of the EXP or gold buff that's going on at that point in time. But I feel like bag space is definitely like a really good use for your rubies. So another thing I use my rubies for is Aeons. The number one thing I use mine on is Aeons. The reason why is because I'm a fusion head ass, right? So by me wanting to fuse so much, the only thing you need to fuse is units and XP, right? You can get units from friendship points. They literally drop them in maps. So the more maps you do, the more units you get, the more EXP you get, the more fusions you can do. So I always go for Aeons. They just released this 301,000 Aeons pack. It's excellent. This is probably I got so excited when I seen this because all I see is how many fusions I can do. How many rares am I going to get? How much EXP am I going to get towards the next level, right? And the more Aeons you spend, the more Aeons you spend, the more account EXP you get. So then you can unlock those Zodiacs even faster. More Zodiac, more stats, free. It's free, right? And you can even think, 300 rubies. What else costs 300 rubies? Summoning, right? So you can summon and get 11 units. Let's just say you get lucky, right? You get a legendary and 2 epics. So now with that legendary, you have to think about if you're going to spend seeds on them or not, if you're going to fuse them or not. And then the other units you're going to be using to level up, usually for fodder. So you can use the 300 to have one unit that you could possibly invest in, but you might not have enough seeds for. Or, this is my perspective, spend the 300 rubies on 1,000 Aeons, and each entry for one of my grand spots is 6 Aeons per entry. So 1,000 divided by 6 Aeons is 166 entries into that specific map. That's EXP, that's fodder dropping, that's more gems, for your skill gems that you can fuse together or sell. But it's more resources. Is your challenges. The light your temple. So with this, you get seeds from daily seeds. Now this is preference. If you feel you're comfortable in your seeds, some people don't spend their gems on this to get the extra seeds. But as a free-to-play player, it's gonna get tight. it's gonna get tight for you to get seeds. And you know, whales, they can kind of like probably not even click this that much or click it every day, but they don't really have to click this because whenever they need seeds, they can just go buy them, right? So if I were you, I would, well, this is what I did. Whenever I see myself low on a specific seed, I went for that seed. But if I didn't see myself getting a legendary that I needed to upgrade, then I didn't worry about it, right? And since I didn't pull that much, I don't have that many units that I need to use seeds on because I'm fusing all of my epics up. So I don't have too many seeds, but I have enough seeds to use for units that I have coming up. So I don't feel the need to use it now, but like my Wei Wei was coming up, I needed to use this on support seeds to make sure I got my Wei Wei to that +1. But even then, I probably could have waited a week and a half, 2 weeks, and still been able to progress the same exact way with or without the +1 on Wei Wei, right? So it's really just figuring out want versus need. That, oh, EXP, that's right. So I buy the 7-day EXP. Why? I'm a fusion head ass. So I get 100% Elune XP from every single map that I go in for 7 days. And it costs less than a summon. 20 less than 11 units. And I can have 7 days of 100% extra EXP. For me, no brainer. I'm on it. So my strategy when I come to do Wei Wei quests, I usually do the quest in the first map, second map, third map, and fourth map, right? Because after that, it gets a little straining. It's like a little tough. You have to put like a pretty good team together, and you probably can only level up one fodder. So I feel like it's kind of less efficient. If you really, really want Wei Wei to have higher skills, that's a good idea to keep on pushing past 4 or 5 to make sure you can keep stacking those Wei Wei quests up. I have a +1 Wei Wei, and I'm like 20% on my way to my third Wei Wei, and I've almost never hit 5 or 6. I only hit 5 or 6 usually when I'm like in the the last 20 of my Wei Wei. Then I'm like, you know, I'm so close, so you know I might as well. So, but I usually quest up to 5, and then when I get to 5, I go to 5-10, and this is my main farming map for leveling Elunes and for getting my gold when I'm out of dailies to do. As you're questing, make sure that you're doing your training and have it fully maxed out. As a head ass free-to-play fuser, I had this fully maxed out so quick, and 550k goes really quick, but it gives you like 6 to 10 units. Like say if you have all 1 or 2 star rares, you throw all of your 1 or 2 star rares into the training mode, and then you'll have about 15 rares to fuse, and you need 45 of them to get an epic. So now you only need 30 more rares, 30 more rare fusions, and you have a 6-star epic. I know a lot of people are worried about their skill books. They don't know like how they should spend it, who they should spend it on. They're kind of scared that they're not going to come across a lot. Like, you know, they're kind of tiptoeing around their skill books. And I understand because I'm kind of more of the save conservative type of person too. But from the amount of farming I'm doing, as you guys can tell, I have enough pages to make a good amount of books across the board. I can get a lot of different epics played around with. You know, I can fuse them up to have more epics, rares, legendary books. But this shows you, keep it your pirate procs on, farming those 5-10 and doing all your Wei Wei quests on up. It helps a lot. But I don't have the best gear that's rated up, right? Only have like a standard set of gear because that's all I needed. You know, I could have different things to make me like excel and make me do this boss 2 minutes faster or PvP up to this rank, but I got exactly what I need. And I always scrap everything in heroes, Elunes, and in inventory. I scrap every single piece. That's why I have 38,000. And another reason why I have 38,000 because I don't enhance that much, because I do fine where I'm at right now. But I know there's going to be a point, like say when I'm pushing PvP, this is going to be useful in that point because I'll be able to roll a lot of different gear, scrap the gear I don't want, and then move forward. But I think I'm going to wait until my inventory is maxed out with legendaries to start min-maxing and rolling my gear. I still have a couple of gems left. You know, I'm kind of scared. I don't pull. I'm kind of making a commitment to like almost never pull ever. I got pressured on stream to pull once or twice. It happens, but I'm trying to do nothing but fuse the whole entirety of this game to see how far I can push it free to play. So now where I'm lacking, I'm sorry this video is long, but it's a lot of information. I want to give every free to play person every single corner that I could possibly hit, and I know I'm still going to miss some stuff. So if I do, make sure you suggest some things in the comments below. Maybe help a friend out that's free to play, or spread something out that you didn't know, or correct me if I was wrong, because I've been talking so long that I might have slipped up and said something weird. But some places that I've been lacking is number one, Rift. Now these are all the places where I wish I had done better earlier, or I want to give you guys this information so you won't be lacking on it, and you could get on it ahead of time so that you could be even further than I am in a smaller amount of time, right? One of the things, Dimensional Rift. Now I'm not the best at Dimensional Rift. I'm not, you know, top 11%. It's not too many rubies. It's cool, but rubies is free. It's free rubies, right? So if you're in the top 20%, you get 100 rubies. Top 30%, you get 50. Even if it's just 50, even if it's just 50, it still is going to add up every week. That's what one summon you get every month for free by doing this, and you get a very, very good amount of gold. A very, very good amount of gold. I get 220k, and that's each day you clear it. So you get a mil for 5 days. You literally get a mil each week from doing this. If I would have been doing this every single day from the beginning, I feel like I wouldn't be too worried about Zodiac. You know what I'm saying? I feel like my fusions would have been more comfortable. So Dimensional Rift. Another thing, Chaos Tower. So I was so focused on grinding adventure, and I misunderstood Tower. So I come from Epic 7, and Tower in Epic 7, you start and it never ends. You keep pushing as far as you can. It keeps giving you rewards, and you go as high as you can, but it gets very, very difficult. Now with this one, I assumed that it reset. It never reset, right? But in actuality, it resets every month. So right now, it just reset. We're at the top of the month. So that's why I wanted to give this, you know, out to you guys so you can know that this tower isn't infinite. For all my people coming from Epic 7, or if you're new to the game and you have a tower on similar games, make sure that you're pushing the tower every day and you're clearing all 3 points on the tower to make sure you can maximize the amount of rewards you get. I did not know that the like in hard mode, you get a 6-star epic by completing it. And how hard can it be? It can't be as hard as all of the 10 bosses, right? Maybe it is, you know, maybe it is, but giving yourself a chance to get those free rewards, it's free, so why not? You get 3 a day. So if you stay on this, do 3 a day, try to stay focused on it, get it done. Some people worry about the star values because it gives you more rank. As a free-to-play player, I don't care about rank. I want my free rewards, and then I'm good. Maybe in the future I'll worry about rank, but right now, just give me what you got. So Chaos Tower resets every month. Make sure you're pushing it, get those free rewards, right? Another place that I really was lacking, and I am lacking, is PvP. So as you can tell, I'm in Master, but I say I'm lacking in PvP. Why? Because I didn't use any of my hero battles. I almost didn't touch PvP for like my first week and a half probably, just because I'm kind of the same all the way around. I don't really want to push against people when I don't feel comfortable with my team. I didn't have like a team that I felt was solid in PvP. My bones was still like, you know, 5-star, and I'm like, okay, I'll just wait for my bones to get 6-star. I'll throw them on PvP and I'll see how it works. Well, the amount that I've been gearing my people up to do all the bosses on 10, from the amount that I've waited, I entered PvP and I shot up to Master within 2 days. Now, I'm not saying like I'm lacking, but this is what you can do, blah, 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 blah. But if I was on PvP earlier, especially if you're doing 3 per day, because the main reason why you want to do PvP is for this girl right here, Nika. She's a very, very, very strong unit. And not too many people have her, but the people that do, are definitely enjoying her. So she's one of the units that I'm aiming for. And just like Wei Wei, you have to farm PvP, get these medals, and use the medals to get the soul stones and then summon her that way. There's no other way to get her except for that way. So I'm lacking in PvP. I wish I had pushed PvP more. I wish I had done at least 3 air battles a day, because by doing 3 air battles in one day, you get 20. You get 20 medals. So for every 5 days, you get 1 Nika. I mean, 10 shards of Nika, right? So that adds up. So I'm like, what, 20 days in. I could have had a good amount of pieces, but I don't. And that's one of the places I'm lacking that I want people to get ahead on. So if you're just joining the game, if you're just trying it out, just go and try PvP 3 times a day. Just get it over with, get your 20 medals, and I guarantee you, once the time comes where you really feel like you need Nika, it's going to be that much closer, right? Okay, another place that I feel like I'm lacking is fodder, right? And this is now because after fusing all of the epic 6 stars, I have all these epic 6 stars and blah 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 la la la, right? Now I'm at a point where I'm getting scarce on my low level rares. So now, as you can tell, I have 3 1 stars, 4 2 stars, and I have a decent amount of 3 stars, but then it goes straight from like what, 2 4 stars into 5 6 stars. So this is where I'm struggling, and I want to show you this because fusing is good, and fusing you could push, and I love this part of the game. You will get to a point where it starts to slow down a little bit. It will get to that point where it slows down a little bit. So I don't like, make sure you're sending friendship points, getting those friendship points in so that you can stack them up. If you do get to this point, I don't have that many friendship points to spend on summons, so I'm kind of like, you know, I kind of have to wait, be patient. And then hopefully soon I'll be able to get some more friendship points in. I can throw them into the summons and then get some more rares, and I will have no worries. The place I felt like I was lacking is the workshop. Now, initially, the workshop just seems like a perk. Oh, and this can go to hand in hand. Workshop and exploration. Okay, this is... So yeah, workshop and exploration. Because workshop gives you the resources, well, exploration gives you the resources you need for workshop, and workshop, but let me talk about exploration first. Look at these rewards. Rubies, gold, free, right? Free to play players, free. This is a place that I'm lacking, right? So I felt like if I would have been doing this, if I had 100% uptime on this, I'd probably have like 1k more rubies, probably a mil or 2 more gold. Maybe not, but this gives yourself an opportunity for it to be a possibility. And then once you get the resources, you come into here, and as you can tell, I have no level 2, no tiered up pots at all, which is bad. Yes, it is. Let's go ahead and do this right now. But I didn't know about this initially because World Boss wasn't really a thing at the time. So I was like, oh, potions, that's cool, but I don't need these potions in order to do what I have to do, right? That's kind of what my mindset was at first. And I was doing explorations at first just because I seen free resources. But the stuff that you get from there, utilizing it in the workshop to make sure you give yourself a better chance in World Boss, it'll give you more currency, more rank, you know, give you a little bit more flexibility when it comes to World Boss. You'll be a little less stressed because you'll hit more, you'll get more points, they'll heal more, so you get more HP during the fight. So it's overall good because it's free. Free to play, take advantage of free, but those are the things that I didn't take advantage of. Rift, Tower, PvP, I'm running out of fodder, and workshops and exploration. Ooh! And so that is all. I know the video is super long, probably way longer than I ever imagined, but I wanted to give you guys an account review of a 100% free-to-play player, how I've been fusing, how I've been progressing, and how I feel like a lot of people can push this game without worrying about summoning or without feeling like they're falling behind because of XYZ. Like I said, I'm 20 days in. I'm level 62. I burn all bosses. I have a very good pouch. I have a very good pouch of epic units. I'm starting to plus them up. You know, it's 20 days in. I can only imagine a month from now where it'll be. You know what I'm saying? It's only up from here. And even if I do hit that wall, I feel like I'm at a comfortable point where if I hit the wall where I run out of gems, I won't really think to pressure myself into buying rubies for summoning, right? I feel like I would really be using the rubies for more adventures, more progress to keep farming. But who knows? The game is fresh. There's still a lot more to come. There's more content to be explored, more units to find, more things to try. With that being said, I appreciate you guys for stopping by, checking the video out. Hopefully you guys could have picked up anything from this video that helped. Maybe there's a couple things you're like, oh snap, what? I didn't know that, bet. Or maybe there's everything that you knew and you could be like, yo, of course you can do this as free to play. Duh, that's how you do it. You know, maybe. But hopefully with this account, I'm not the best player. I'm not the best free to play player by far. No means. But I feel like with the way that I'm progressing, with the things that I know and how I can push further, I can make an impact in the leaderboards sometime in the future. That's what I'm thinking about in the future. I don't really care about right now. Right now it's fine, but the future is where I'm looking at. So hopefully, if you guys watch this video, you take these tips, you put them all together, and you find a way for it to work out for yourself the most efficiently. Hopefully everyone can excel their account to a point where they don't need any units because they have everything they need. They don't need the extra rubies, or they don't feel like they need to spend money on the game because they know the resource value in certain things and they could push things without feeling, oh, I'm losing out on this and that. So thank you guys for coming by. Again, it's TooSmooth Gaming. Be TooSmooth, Big Tone, Take Bone. No matter what you call me, you know where to find me. Twitch.tv/TooSmoothGaming LLC. Shout out to Phoenix for the beats. Go ahead and check them out. SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Phoenix. And shout out to Gypsy, one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Elune streamer that put me on to farming in this game. He gave me the steps that I needed in order to push. And from that point, I've been going full on fledged OD head ass mode. With that being said, thank you guys. Until next time, hopefully you'll stop by. And I hope that helps somebody. Until next time, it's your boy, and I'm out.